Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome, guys. My name is Zakir Zaman. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day, enjoying yourselves. Let me know if the sound is working well. I'm starting to use this now, so it's a portable wireless mic. I just want to see if it works better. This is, I'll tell you more about this in a bit, inshallah. But let me know, inshallah, if the sound is working. Let me just go on to Instagram. Let's see if I can go live on there. Do a little bit of Instagram as well for a little while. Okay. QnA. Let's go. So, Ahlan wa sahlan, welcome. Wa alaikum assalam, Kazmatan. So what happened was a little glitch. I actually pressed start, but then I didn't actually configure it. So I had to restart it again. Sarah, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan, how are you? How are your exams? I hope they went well. Bablu, tell book to start studying adab in Arabic. What have you studied so far? So if you tell me what you've studied so far, I'll be able to tell you one. I'm very well, Sarah. Thank you very much for asking. I hope you're well, enjoying your day. Today's a very nice Friday, nice and sunny, mashallah. I had a Jummah talk as well, as you can tell by my voice. Alhamdulillah. And I love Fridays especially when they are very sunny and nice and hot. Yeah, it's just over 20 or 21 degrees outside. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Sarf Nahu from Durus al-Lugha al-Arabiya. Okay, so what I would suggest is start to read children's books. Yeah, so start to read children's books. So if you can find online, you can actually go onto YouTube and type in children's book in Arabic, and you'll find people have made videos. You can follow those videos, inshallah. So the main thing is you need to start basic, very, very basic Arabic, like sentences that are made up of 2 words, 3 words, 4 words, like that. Start off with something that don't try to jump into something which is going to be difficult for you, I would say. Masir Ali, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan, my brother Masir. What's happening? Amriki. So let me know, guys, if the sound is working good, because actually I'm using this over here today. Yeah, so instead of me using my normal mic, which is stationed just above over here, you guys can't see it. I'm actually using this one over here. Yeah, this one, I'm going to test it out, see how it works. And I see with this, I can actually go backwards, and my voice will not be affected by it, so it won't go down. As for the previous one, if I go back, then the sound, you can tell that I'm becoming further and further distant from the mic. Yeah, so this is the mic that I'm using at the moment. I'm going to do some videos with this mic as well. And this is a very nice mic. This is a very nice mic, alhamdulillah. Sounds okay? Excellent, excellent. I'm surprised that you remember my exam. I passed, alhamdulillah. Now I want your dua training in my desired institute. Ameen. May Allah make it easy for you. May Allah make it easy for you. So now you have no excuse not to do library tour. Definitely. Yes, actually walk around the room. Right, so as you can see, guys, this is the YouTube plaque over here. These are my lights over here. These are some books. This is the back wall. Yeah. That's part 1 of the tour. There's another 100 parts left. Okay, let's check out some. Mu'min, wa alaikum salam. 2 of my valuables got stolen the same day, different settings. Any dua? Just ask Allah to help you find them. There's no specific dua that's come in the Quran or hadith if you've lost something. But it's just make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inshallah, Allah will. If it's stolen, then you're probably not going to get it back. People have things stolen, unfortunately. So it's a sad reality. Unfortunately, there's people out there who will steal other people's property. This is the tea today, guys. Nice, beautiful tea. Yeah, it smells really nice. It's got all these flowers in there. Ooh, very, very strong. Very strong tea. There you go. This is the tea color. Nice, look at that. Beautiful. So I have studied Qasim. Yeah, so Qasim is good, but I would suggest if you start from beginning and you cover all your gaps, start basic Arabic, and writing is very important. Make sure you start Arabic writing as well. Yeah, so just start writing Arabic, just like a few lines. Today I did this. Yeah, yesterday I did this. Tomorrow I'm going to do this. Just write basic Arabic, and then you can move on. How are you finding? Can you read Qasas al-Nabiyyin on your own now? Like, could you say you can choose any page and start reading and translating on your own? Mahmoud, alaikum salam. I want to thank you for that. Alhamdulillah, you can't help me learn, read the Mus'haf. Jazakallah khair. Alhamdulillah, brother Mahmoud. May Allah bless you and your endeavor to learn how to read the Quran thoroughly. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put barakah in your studies as well. Thank you very much. Jazakallah khair. This feedback deserves to go on the screen. Jazakallah khair. And subhanallah, this is something I never imagined so many people would benefit from the Learn How to Read the Quran series. But alhamdulillah, this is something which is the fadl of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I pray to Allah that Allah gives me tawfiq to make more videos to help people out there. Muslims corner, alaykum assalam. The Ethiopian government is demolishing masjids and killing Muslims. They demolished more than 20 masjids last couple of weeks. Subhanallah. May Allah make it easier for the people of Ethiopia. Muslims, I had many friends from Ethiopia. It's something which I know they used to tell me about. There's quite a lot of Islamophobia there as well amongst certain Christian groups. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for the people of Ethiopia. Right, so so this is Friday, guys, and as you guys know, on Fridays I just kind of like chat with you guys just to see. This is a book that went to me by one of my very best friends. It's called تحفة الذاكرين بدة الحسن الحصين من عدة الحسن الحصين من كلام سيد المرسلين. Yeah, this is by my friend Mufti Javed. Gave me this many years ago. This was like, I think I was still studying a very long time. And this is a book which is basically a compilation of adhkar, books to do adhkar. So if you remember, I did a course recently on on du'as. So I did use this book, certain chapters of it. So this is, I would definitely recommend it. Imam Shawkani. Imam Shawkani has written this book. It's a very good book, nicely written. This is one of the books I would definitely recommend if someone wants to delve into the discussion of like dhikr and different types of dhikr and all the rulings, ahkam pertaining to dhikr. Very nice book. And also there's one by Imam Nawawi as well. I would definitely recommend. Yeah, definitely. So anyway, as you can tell, my skin color has been tanned because I've been in the sun for a very long time. Yeah, this week I went hiking as well. So this week was quite a packed week. I had a wedding to go to. Yeah, I did a nikah, and that's like on the totally other side of the city. And I did that nikah. So there was a guy, I don't know him, but there's a guy that I know. I gave a talk in his mosque. So there was another guy sitting there, and he asked that my friend if I could do his nikah. So I don't normally do random people's nikahs, but I just said, okay, go for it. So I did his nikah, alhamdulillah. So his nikah, and also I didn't go cycling this week because what's happened basically is my back tire. So cycle bikes, there's two types of tires you can get. You can get a tube tire. So a tube tire is where you have a tire, and then inside of it there's a tube, like a rubber tube, and then there's you fill it with air, right? And every time it gets punctured or it loses air, you have to repump it. There's another type of tire which is known as a tubeless tire, and as you can tell by the name, there's no tube in there. What it has in there is basically a tire, and it's got this gel in there that seals it. So you're basically pumping air into a tire, not in a. It works more like a car. So what happened basically is in the tire there's this sealant, and that sealant was coming out. I didn't realize this, and then it was only the last cycling session I went on is where the sealant actually came out, and it decreased the pressure in the tire. So I had to get the tire pumped up. So now I have to get my tire resealed. So that's why I haven't been able to cycle. I really wanted to cycle this holiday, or this past week, but I wasn't able to. But anyway, that's another new thing you learn about tires. So I had that. What else was it? Oh yeah, last Friday I could not come last Friday because last Friday I had students barbecue. So because now and again we have student dinners, right? And it's usually when we break up for holidays. So this time we decided to have a barbecue, and the barbecue started after Juma and it finished around about 6 o'clock. So it was quite a long barbecue. And alhamdulillah, we made chicken steaks, we made meat steaks, we made chicken wings, all different types of food. Alhamdulillah, had a very good time. All the teachers, all the students got together. So yeah, it was very nice, and it was actually our first student barbecue that we've had, first ever one. So inshallah, there's going to be more of those coming up, inshallah. And because I do a lot of barbecuing, I was like, showing my skills, my barbecuing skills. Yeah, which basically is getting the stuff burnt. Alhamdulillah. So we had that. What else was there? Saturday I came, wasn't it? Yeah, Saturday I came on. Was it Sunday? Sunday was the wedding. Yeah. Oh yeah. Tomorrow I've actually got a wedding to go to. There's actually a talk. Have you ever heard of Sheikh Saeed Kamali? He's a Moroccan scholar. He's coming to Birmingham tomorrow. In fact, today and tomorrow. So today I won't be able to attend because I'm working in the evening. But tomorrow, inshallah, I'm going to attend his talk tomorrow, and there's going to be a scholars get together dinner after that. So tomorrow I might not be able to live stream tomorrow, unfortunately, guys. I'll probably have to postpone it to Sunday. Yeah. So tomorrow, if I can't do the live stream, I will let you guys know on Telegram, inshallah, and then on Sunday, inshallah, I'll probably have to do it on Sunday, inshallah ta'ala. So that's basically the weekend. Legends. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ria, ahlan wa sahlan wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Mahmoud, Allah barik. Relics, wa alaikum assalam. Are there some books I can read to learn about Jahiliyyah society, how they lived? Yes, you can. One of the books I would definitely recommend is a book called Al-Mufassal fi Tarikh al-Jahiliyyah by Ali Jawad. Yeah, so let me just get you a link for it. Al-Mufassal تاريخ العرب قبل الإسلام. المفصل في التاريخ العرب قبل الإسلام. Yeah, this is a good book. It's not the best book because some people have written critiques on it, criticisms on it. But it's a very good book. I've read several chapters of it, several volumes of it. I haven't read all of it, but it's it gives you a very good insight, I would say, to understanding various things like medicine that the Arabs had. Quite long, by the way. Books book on Arab society for Islam. So that is the link. If you can press that link, I don't know. Or actually, yeah, that's the link. I don't know if you can click on that link. If not, if you can just Google the book. Yeah, this is a book that I personally benefit from myself. Yeah, Allah. And I definitely recommend anyone who actually wants to go into really advanced studies of Arabic poetry. I would definitely recommend that. And there's another book as well I would recommend. So that's basically to do with Arab society, gives you a picture of Arab society. And there's another book by Mustafa Rafi, called Mustafa Rafi, Tarikh al-Adab al-Arab. Tarikh Adab al-Arab. This is a good one. Yeah, Tarikh Adab al-Arab. This book is, let me try to get a link for it. Yeah, this book is a much shorter book. Yeah, 2 volumes in fact. Yeah, so you can check that one out as well. Tarikh Adab al-Arab. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. عمران علي أهلا وسهلا. My brother, क्या हाल है हैदराबादी? Mariam, hello. Do you have to read Quran in Arabic? No, you don't have to read in Arabic, but it's a practice which has been passed down and it's very rewarding in Arabic. Kashif Ali, wa alaikum assalam. Why does Allah use we in the Quran? Yeah, so this is to do with language style, right? So like in English, they use the we as well. It's called the royal we, not the royal we. The royal we, as in it's like when people say with authority that we will look into this. Yeah, that's what it called. The problem is people who don't know Arab expressions, they find it very difficult to look into it. Link does not work. Can you write the name? Alaikum assalam. Ahlan Galaxy. Worked? Ahlan wa sahlan. You're welcome. You're welcome. So those are two books. There's a few other books. I can't remember the name exactly. I've got them on my laptop. So if I do remember, inshallah, I will let you know. But these two should be sufficient, especially the first one, if you want to understand about Arabic adab and Arabic history. As you can see, the white hairs in the beard, guys. White. The nur in the beard. Yeah, so that's basically my weekend, guys. That's my and okay. So do you do individual Quran classes to the kids, please? My 7-year-old son is learning from YouTube videos, but I can see he gets stuck. Unfortunately, I do not do one-to-one lessons, unfortunately. But if you send an email, I can probably try to look for someone who does do them. Yeah, I have a friend who actually does. So if you do want one-to-one classes, I have a friend in Pakistan who actually does online one-to-one lessons, inshallah. So if you send an email to me, inshallah, I'll get back to you. Ahla wa sahlan Afsar. Mufti Saab, is Surah Al-Kahf related to Dajjal? Has mostly read it to protection of fitna Dajjal. So it's, if you read the translation of it, you'll see there's no mention of Dajjal in it. But this is a surah the Prophet ﷺ mentioned that it gives you protection from Dajjal, because the themes inside surah, they revolve around the tests and tribulations that the Muslims will face in the future. Yeah, which is like, wealth, the fitna of wealth, the fitna of corrupt authorities, totalitarian authorities, corruption, the fitna of ignorance, the fitna of power, these kind of things. I've actually, if you're on my Telegram, I've actually done, I think I did a Jummah khutbah a few weeks back, and I actually went through how it's related to. Legend Sheikh, what are your top 5 classical Arabic dictionaries? My top 5 are probably the one that I go to the most. You're probably saying that one, the one that I go to the most. So it will have to be Lisan al-Arab, Taj al-Arus. The ones that are very early, I don't really need to go to those, because Lisan al-Arab and Taj al-Arus really do the job for me. Lisan al-Arab, Taj al-Arus. Okay, what else? Yeah, those are usually the two that I usually need, because I don't really need to go any further than that. But there are other ones that were written before, like for example, Ibn Sida has several dictionaries. Al-Bahr al-Muhit al-Azam, al-Mukhassis, and Khalil ibn Ahmad, his book that's attributed to him, Al-Kitab al-Ain, that was one of the earliest that's been written. And then you've got Al-Azhari, and then yeah, those are some of the earliest. And then you got some fiqh ones as well, like Al-Mutarrizi. Yeah, he's got Al-Mughrib. That's also one, but that's more to do with Hanafi fiqh, specifically Hanafi fiqh. Just trying to think if there's any other ones that I use. Yeah, those are the usually ones that if I need to use them, I'll go back to them. Masir Ali, what's a dictionary I can use for translating or understanding Arabic words besides Handsware? If you want to use the English one, Lane's Lexicon. That's a common one. I don't really use it that much. I mean, nowadays with dictionaries, there's a website called studentdictionary.com, student dictionary. That usually kind of like gives you a good meaning that you can use if you're looking for like a nice word or expression. Mawrid is also good as well. Mawrid. Aqib Hussein wa alaikum salam. I hope you are well. Considering you mentioned it are the rewards in both keeping the white hairs in the beard, and there's no reward in having white hairs in the beard, but it's just something that has been mentioned as the white hairs are a sign of nur. It could the hadith could mean that this is a sign of nur, as in when a person sees it inside of a person, it's like it looks like a bit of light. Like it looks like someone's got a light on in their beard. And it also could be an indication towards nur, as in it's something which is because of old age, you naturally have this sort of like illumination. wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan, my brother. Is it okay to go to non-Muslim magician fortune tellers to challenge them? Non-Muslim dua versus the and for the fun tell them off. I mean, you can go, but I don't think what can happen is you could embarrass yourself. Yeah, so these kind of things, so they might use jinn. Let's say, for example, they use jinn, and you use a jinn to harm you, and then later on you get harmed a week later, a month later, affects your family, affects your mental health. You don't want that to happen. So this is why you don't find these kind of practices in the past where people used to go challenging individuals. If the situation does come up and you have to challenge them, then that's a different situation. But you shouldn't go looking out for these things. Best to avoid. Can you explain the fiqh of reciting Quran for the dead? I see there's a fitna because of stupid people saying this is not a... So according to the Malikis and Shafis, recitation of the Quran, send the reward to the deceased is not established. Whereas according to the Hanafis and the Hanbalis, they say you can recite Quran and send it to the deceased. Yeah, that is something which is permissible. If you want a book on it, there's actually Arabic. There's a few Arabic books that have been written on there, but this is a very common discussion in the books of fiqh, like later books of fiqh, about recitation of Quran on the deceased. And also, there's many hadith for just recitation, like reading Surah Baqarah beginning and end at the head and the feet of the deceased. Narrations about reading Quran at the graves as well. That's just to do with just the recitation, not the sending of the reward. Galaxy, ahlan wa sahlan. Fiqh के इस इबारत का क्या मतलब हुआ कि मुसाफिर के लिए अगर उसके साथी मौजूद हो तो अजान मुस्तहब है ना कि सुन्नत मुअक्कदा. But azan for musafir also is sunnah muakkada. So generally what the Hanafis say is, look, the whole point of the adhan is to inform the people that the salat time has come in. Okay, and this is when, obviously, just generally, let's say for example Zuhur starts at 1 o'clock. So the whole point of the adhan is at 1 o'clock the muazzin should give adhan to inform the entire community that Zuhur time has now started, so you can pray. Nowadays, people generally, especially in non-Muslim countries, they follow timetables instead of following the adhan, because they don't have the facility of adhans being read aloud. So that's one issue. Second issue is the Hanafis say if a person is a musafir, then they should also do the adhan as well, because it's informing people of the entry of salat time. Okay, so musafirs do the salat, azan of the salat, and the adhan is that the iqama is also done. However, if the group of people, Hanafi say, if the group of people are all there, so let's say 20 of you have gone on a journey, so on a trip, and you're all there, there's no need for adhan, because the adhan is for announcing and everyone knows the salat has started. So they're all there, isn't it? So al-adhanu li istihdar al-ghaibin. Yeah, or ihdar al-ghaibin. It's to bring those who are ghaib to the masjid. Now, if you're on a journey, you're obviously not in a masjid, you're on the road somewhere. So therefore, that's why they say that the need for the adhan is not necessary then. So therefore, it becomes mustahab now to give adhan. Whereas normally in your locality, it's sunnah muakkada. And the iqama stays as being the same, because the iqama is there to tell the 20 people or so that salat is about to start. Yeah, so that's the basic difference between That's what they say. The difference between the two is that. Yeah. This is if it's obviously praying salat at the current time. I hope that makes sense. Which book would be better to know about Seerah in depth? I would say there's actually a book that's come out by I think it's based upon Dr. Yasir Qadhi's Seerah lessons. So he's got like 100 Seerah lessons he's done on YouTube. So someone has come along, Dr. Salah Sharif and others. They've come along and they've transcribed the entire whole of 100 videos or so, and they've put references for everything. I think probably that would be in my best judgment. I haven't read it yet, but from what I've understood, it would be probably the most detailed one that you can get. Yeah. Is Abu Ala al-Mawdi translation good and authentic? I haven't read all of it, but what I would suggest is avoid the footnotes. In some of the footnotes, he does make certain claims which are very problematic, but the translation in itself seems to be okay. Just the translation part is okay. Footnotes, there's some problematic issues that he's made. 1-to-1 classes are a ton of effort, to be honest. I reflect on that today, and it gave me a great appreciation for the efforts of my first start made teaching from. Yeah, that's 1-to-1 teaching. It takes a lot out of the teacher, because the teacher's got to take at the same time as even if he's teaching a class. Mohammed Tariq Jamil is coming to London, Leicester, and Bolton with Islamic Relief. Ahlan wa sahlan, ahlan wa sahlan. Any significance to reciting Yasin for the deceased? Yeah, there are some narrations that seem to mention about its soothing effect. Have I committed shirk if I got to a magician and ask about future, etc.? But I don't believe, no, you haven't. Also, is Tariq Jamil a good person? Muslim scholar Barelwi say he's not good. My Durmandi phrase, he's a wali. What I would suggest is, my brother AH, listen to his talks. The thing is, when people ask and they say things like, is this person a good person? Is this a bad person? The only way that you could know is obviously if you listen to his talks. Yeah, that's the only way. Rather than listen to what I'm saying. He seems to be a very good person from the outward of his talks. Some people have started practicing Islam because of him. So the apparent seems contrary to what people are saying. That's what I would say. Habib Omar alaykum assalam. Ahlan wa sahlan, my brother. Ahlan wa sahlan. Omar Khan, in your experience, what is the best way to encourage close friends, spouse, or siblings to stay away from sins and good deeds without being pushy? Tell them the virtues of doing good actions and getting close to Allah. That is the best way. Why do people sin? They simply sin because they can't see the kind of benefits of doing good actions. Once a person knows something good is very, very good, and it brings them closer to Allah, and they have the virtues in front of them, then they feel disinclined towards doing bad things. That's the simple, solution for it. So this is why, a lot of times when people tell people not to do something, but what you have to remember, you can't just tell people not to do something. You have to do, like the prophets came as Bashiran wa Nadhiran. They came as warners, and at the same time, they came as giving glad tidings, telling people good, giving people hope as well. And that's, I think, of times what happens in families. That's what's missing. People tell people off for doing wrong, but they don't encourage them to do good. They don't show them the values, the virtues, etc. And one of my teachers, I remember, he said he went to a mosque once, and this mosque was like really messed up. He became the imam of that mosque, I think, in the late 1980s. And he says, I didn't tell them not to do bad things. All I did every Jummah was tell them positive things, tell them good things that they should do, and the virtues of Allah, believing in Allah, and the virtues of following the Prophet ﷺ, and things like that. And he said, over the years, it took a bit of time, but slowly you could see the change come in them. How can I make my family interested in seeking knowledge, or at least see the importance? Again, the same thing. Yeah, you gotta basically motivate. You gotta be a motivator. You gotta let them see the benefits of it. If people can't see the benefits of anything, they won't be interested in it. Simple as that. You have to show them the benefits. You have to bring them close to Allah. You have to, encourage them in that sense. Sometimes what happens is your family. I remember my dad originally, he wasn't really interested in me studying in a madrasa. But then when I started to study and I used to come back to England and give talks sometimes, my dad used to be there. That made him proud then. So now, alhamdulillah, although my family isn't really that interested in studying themselves, but they do see the value of studying. Yeah. How Habib's family? Hello, Claymore, can you explain the concept of al-rijalu qawwamuna ala nisa? Yeah, so al-rijalu qawwamuna ala nisa, this is a verse of the Quran. So what does this mean? So qawwam basically means someone who stands and takes care of other people, basically maintains, supervises, oversees, protects. This is a qawwam individual. So when Allah in the Quran says rijal are qawwamuna of women, Allah is telling us about the function of man and woman. So if you strip away everything and you just basically look at on earth how men and women they function as a society, you'll find men generally are the protectors of the women. Women are naturally more or less physically stronger than men, and men are physically stronger. They've been designed to protect, to do hard work. They've been designed for, if it comes to it, to fight. And that's why the Quran is mentioning the basic instinct, which is men should be the providers of women. Men should be the caretakers of women. That's how things work. Now, that doesn't mean that, let's say, if there's a woman, she's not allowed to financially support or take care of her husband. She can. Let's say the husband is disabled, or the husband is, ill or something, and the woman starts working and provides. That's totally permissible as well. But the point is that the default state should be that in normal situation, men are supposed to take the responsibility of providing and protection for the women. Now, you see, all of this gets confusing when we're living in a society where men are working, women are working, and then you start seeing problems arising. Yeah, because generally, when the men provide for the women can focus more on doing the tarbiyah of the children, bringing up the children. That's the default state, that is. Obviously, there's going to be some families there's no children involved, and like in the West, there's situations where the women are working as well. This is where you start to have complications in the families, and this has a knock-on effect on the men's role as well. So there's a lot of sort of like wisdom behind this kind of statement. How to counter lethargy, lack of motivation, not feeling like doing something? There is no cure for laziness except to do something. There's actually a good book called Atomic Habits. I would encourage you to read that. Laziness is a problem. The Prophet ﷺ, he sought protection from laziness. So laziness is not from the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Doing work is from the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. That's put that in your mind. Every time you have to do something, laziness, when you leave it, do it later, do it tomorrow. What you have to do is you have to go against your nafs and you have to do that thing right now. That's how you're going to break laziness. So laziness, it's like an uphill struggle. It's like an uphill struggle. Once you break the barrier, after that, it's going to be easy. So that's the only cure for laziness. If we love our parents more than the Prophet ﷺ, are we out of Islam? No, because this is different type of love. The love you have from the Prophet ﷺ is different from the love that you have. Like, for example, the love a person has for their spouse or for their children is going to be different what they have for their parents, for their siblings, and the love that you have for Allah and the Prophet ﷺ is different. So when we say love, although it's 4 letters, love is basically attachment. That's what it is. Loyalty and attachment to something. The loyalty and attachment you have for your family is different from the loyalty attachment you have for the Prophet ﷺ. The loyalty and attachment we have for the Prophet ﷺ is religious based. It's something which is based upon the core of our religion. Whereas the love you have for your family is based upon the association that you have, the physical connection that you have with them. So they're different types of love. In the Rules of Lugha al-Arabiya book, 3 volumes, good for understanding Arabic text for a beginner with studying Nahu. Ahlan wa sahlan. Oh, is it? I don't know. I haven't really kind of checked part 3, so I wouldn't be able to say. Okay, yeah. The thing is that it's hard to communicate, explain why ilm is so important, especially at a personal level. Like for me, to explain my goals and my reasons. Yeah, it's going to be hard. It's like someone wanted to go into, I don't know, astrophysics, yeah, or quantum physics, and the family doesn't understand the benefit of this. They have to show them the benefits of it. Is wearing modest clothing but not covering your hair as a woman the same as a man wearing shorts showing his thigh? I don't know. Wallah. So when it comes to the hair, this is something which is categorical in all the madhabs, that a woman is not allowed to expose her hair in front of other people, other men. Whereas the area around the knee, there's ikhtilaf in this. That's why you can't compare them. A Quran English with Arabic by Ali Hunal is in. It's 58-mile drive, one from me to get. I have to pay £10 for it. I've not read the translation. I don't know. I don't know who that person is. I won't be able to say. Masir Ali, the easiest way to combat laziness to start but have the intention of doing a small amount. What happens is that you end up doing more. Exactly. So that kind of trick. You're like tricking your brain. Diane Ibn al-Wardi's Lamia has some nice lines on laziness. Okay, I haven't seen that. Umran, I don't like when people make accounts impersonating big scholars. Just have your name. Yeah, I know what you mean. Muhammad, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My brother Muhammad, long time, bro. So as you guys can see, I've got this new gadget here. This is mic. Right, so I'm gonna make some noise now. You're gonna hurt your ears, yeah. So that was the mic noise. So basically, this is a wireless mic. Now, I've been looking for a wireless mic for a while. So there's two main sort of like options that are out there. There's many options, but two main ones I was looking at. One was the Rode one. So Rode mic, it's basically like a square instead of rectangle, and it's got Rode written on it. And the other one is this. This is called a, I don't know if I can show you the box. Yeah, DJI. Yeah, so okay, it's not showing. Gotta hide my face. Oh, it's not showing. For the blurry for some reason. So this is called a DJI mic. Right, it's got two mics inside of this, so you get two mics. So one's this one, as you can see, and this one. Well, they're both on now. That's why you can hear the sound. So, but this is two. You get two of these. Yeah. So these are two transmitters or two, mics. One here and one there, and you can have like interviews with people, and you can put one on them, put one on yourself, and then you have a receiver, one receiver, and that receiver is connected to your device. Now, the good thing about this is several good things about this, I would say. So one is got two, obviously, which is really good. And secondly, I would say it's really good because you can also record at the same time, just in case the connection gets broken. Right, so you can record the audio on this. So later on, when you're doing editing, you just simply take off the audio, and then you can attach the audio. So this is really good if you do a lot of recording, and the mic got messed up halfway through, and you didn't realize, you spoilt potentially hours of recording. So this is really good for that. That's the second reason. Third reason is really good is because it's got like a screen on this. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm going to turn this off now because it's starting to make too much noise. Okay. So it's got a screen over here. You can't see this because it's attached to the phone, but it's got this screen over here. Next time, maybe I'll try to see when I'm using the other mic. And on that screen, you can see the equalizer. So you can do all the settings from that screen. And it fits, you can fit it nicely onto your camera. That's very good. You can also, right, the good thing about this, you can also use this mic in your mobile phone as well. So it's got these two. So this is basically what it looks like. Yeah. I don't know why today the camera is not zooming in. Okay, now it is. So as you can see, it's got this setup here. So it's got a normal iPhone port, or a connector here, and it's got a USB-C one. Yeah, so you can actually connect to your phone, but it only works on like these new phones. Mine doesn't work on iPhone. Mine's a bit old, so it works on new phones. So you can actually, let's say someone wants to record something on their phone and they want good quality sound, you can do it on there as well. So it plugs into there. That's another benefit. That's 3 benefits. Fourth benefit of this is, I would say, is that it's very, very easy to use. Like it's, you just plug it in and it just starts without any problem. I haven't found any problem so far in using it. Quality is very good, as you can tell as well. Yeah, I can move around. Sound is very good. Another benefit of this is that there's actually this kind of like attachment. You call it like a dead cat or a dead mouse, which is I don't know where I put it. Put it here somewhere. So it's got like these kind of like those kind of grey sort of like furry things that people attach onto the end of microphones, and it's got a nice way of attaching it onto here through a magnet, so it sticks on. So you can have that. It protects it from the wind, basically. And that's it. Basically, these are some of the benefits that I've found so far. It's really, really good. I would say definitely encourage, if someone is into recording, they want good quality. It doesn't pick up sound from everywhere. It just picks up whatever's close to your mouth. So it's very helpful if you're in a noisy environment as well. So the mic that I've got here, I've got three types of mics at the moment. I've got my Blue Yeti mic, which is a mic that picks up everything from around, right? So that's not really the ideal mic you want for a situation where you can hear, for example, if someone's opening a cupboard in another part of the house, or someone's keys fall outside, you can pick all that up. It's very powerful. It's very, very nice sound, but the problem is it picks up too much. This mic over here, which is up here, it's a Rode shotgun mic. This is very, very good. It picks up in the direction of your voice. So this is very good for interviews if it's all fixed in. Very nice for that. And this is very good for mobility, moving around. Yeah, so those are the mics, guys. All right, anyway. I remember once you saying if you miss the 4 rakats of Jummah before, you don't make it up after. Is that correct? Yes. Yeah, you don't have to make it up. The reason is because the 4 rakats before Jummah, there are a few hadith about the 4, but they're not very strong. They're weak. That's the issue. That's the first issue. And the Hanafis get the 4 before the Jummah. They get it from, you can almost say like based on the idea of Dhuhr. So because the Jummah is in place of Dhuhr, and Dhuhr has 4 rakats before it, the idea is the 4 are there. So the evidence for the 4 is not as strong as the evidence for the 4 before the Dhuhr. That's why, the scholars say, this in Ma'arif as-Sunan, Shaykh Yusuf bin Nouri he's got a section on this under the Hadith in Tirmidhi about the when the Imam comes in Jummah, and he mentions that it's not considered to be necessary to make up if you miss that, because it's that key is not as strong as normal. Don't pretend to be Hazrat, become a Hazrat. Allah. Don't tata Hazrat. Look at that. Those guys know Sarf. Don't tata Hazrat. Yeah. Hazrat. New mic now. You're ready for Hyde Park. That's it. The debaters wear these, don't they? Go around. Yeah, right, guys. Right. So this is actually, I'm going to start doing debates. Debate with myself. Remember the videos I used to make? I need to restart making those, Camera refusing to focus. Yes, that's it. Camera is kafir. Kafir in the sense that he's, ungrateful. Camera focus reminds me of days in school. What's your DJ name then? My DJ name is LZ. Lazy. Is it true if one watches horror movies, the evil jinn enter the house? I don't know. I have no idea. I've heard some people say something like that, but there's nothing in the Quran, nothing in Hadith to say. What I've actually come across. I was watching something on I think YouTube, where this guy was doing an interview, and he was saying that sometimes what happens is people that make the movies, they use sort of like satanic rituals in the movies. Yeah, I don't know how true that is, and potentially, I mean, if a satanic ritual, if a jinn summoning ritual is basically certain words you say or sounds you make or patterns you make, it's easy to do that in a film, isn't it? I mean, that's a theory. I'm not into these things, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think many films are or have secret subliminal satanic messages in there. Makhanafi. Have you watched the documentary about the McAfee guy? It's so funny. Like, he's got like a crazy life. He died, isn't he? He died in prison in Spain. Watch his life. Hazrat, from where you have done your alimiyat ifta? From Karachi, Pakistan. Best seerah book in English is Sultan of Hearts, 2 volumes. Best I've read. Yeah, Sultan of Hearts. Yeah. Okay, I think I might get that just to check it out. Sultan of Hearts. Sultan of Hearts. Interesting. Here it says a single volume. Is it in 1 volume? Sultan of Hearts. All right, £46 is pretty steep, but if it's worth it. Good dictionary is Qamus, Feirozabadi, Muassas Risala Publishers, and Mukhtar As-Siha by Zainuddin. Yeah, Feirozabadi is good, but it doesn't really kind of cover all words. That's the only issue. Feirozabadi was a teacher of Ibn Hajar, rahimahullah. He's actually got a good book. So he's actually got a good book on what is it called? On tafsir, which is like a linguistic tafsir. It's called, name skip my head, volume book. Basair Dhawi Tamiz. Basair Dhawi Tamiz. And the same as Mukhtar As-Siha is good, but again, it's more of the for a hadith dictionary. Who is your favorite reciter other than yourself? Al-Husari. Who is yours? Naweed wa alaikum assalam. Ahlan wa sahlan. Till when are the perpetual twilight nights? Can I then, as a Hanafi, pray Isha and Witr after the Maghrib? Okay, let me show you guys. Let me show you guys about this perpetual night business. You guys want to see? I want to show you the secrets. The secrets of this. People like that, don't they? Clickbait. I want to tell you the secrets of perpetual nights. Okay, so here is a website. Just go on to it. Show you guys. A lot of people have these questions, and I think if they understand where it's coming from, they just kind of like accept it, understand it. It's just, you know what, makes sense and makes sense. So as you can see on the screen, this is a website called Time and Date. This is a website I use, you know, just generally for data on time and dates, etc. So this is Birmingham, right? So you put your city over there, whatever city you want, you put it there, and then it will basically find out information about your city, the times, the movements of the sun, the movements of the moon, etc. So this pattern over here, this is showing you throughout the year how long day lasts for. So can you see over here, there's this really kind of light blue, and it goes to dark. So dark is nighttime, and then you have light blue. There's light blue, there's 3 colors here between the light blue and between the dark. Can you see that? Yeah. So there's 3 colors over here. Okay, so if I make it bigger, probably can see it better. Yeah, there's 3 colors. These 3 colors represent the 3 twilights. So you have, this is called civil, nautical, and astronomical. CVN. CNA. CNA. Civil, nautical, astronomical. CNA. So CNA, not CNN. CNA. This is when Maghrib starts. So you see this band over here. That's Maghrib, guys. So as you can see throughout the year, it kind of like changes. Yeah, if you notice. So this is basically, you know, it's saying this is a midday, and then you've got like morning. The morning starts here, right? So you have these 3 shades in the morning time, and then you have 3 shades in the evening time. So when Maghrib starts, so for example, in the UK in January, Maghrib starts about 4 o'clock, and then Isha starts after 6. This is in the winter, okay? Now, as you can see, as the time goes by in the UK, in Birmingham especially, this band gets bigger, 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 until you can't even see the black. Can you see the black? It disappeared, doesn't it? Look what's happened. Black has gone. So what that means is at this point here, there's no longer twilight. There's no longer nighttime. Nighttime doesn't come. And this grey band, it's perpetual twilight, this is called. Perpetual. See that? Perpetual twilight does not fully kind of disappear. It doesn't disappear. So what happens over here, between here and between over here, right over here? Yeah, so it's just at the end of July, you can say, just at the end of July. Right, that's when nighttime doesn't. Here is where the scholars, they come out with this idea and say, look, if nighttime doesn't come, that means Isha doesn't come, according to Abu Hanifa rahimullah. So they work out the Isha by simply saying either you pray an hour after Isha, or Maghrib, or like half an hour, or just immediate Maghrib, right? Various opinions. But that's basically what happened. Now, this is Birmingham. If you go further north, does everyone understand this? Everyone following me in this? You guys know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if you go to, let's say, higher, this is Birmingham, isn't it? London, let's see what London is. Let's type in London. Let's see London. London. All right. So for London, okay, London. In fact, in London, you don't get this. See, in London, you do get nighttime, but it's very, very late. Right? Very late. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know, what time is that? Is that like really late days? So you do get nighttime in London, right? But in Birmingham, you don't get. Okay. And if you actually go to, let's say, somewhere up more north, let's say Bradford. So Bradford is the city up north. Their perpetual twilight starts just the beginning of May. You can see that. Yeah, the perpetual twilight starts beginning of May. That's where it starts. Okay, I don't know if you guys are into this stuff, but I'm just showing you guys. Look, this is how you work it out, basically. On those of you guys on Instagram, you can't see. You'll have to see on YouTube. And let's go up north. Let's go to, I don't know, Edinburgh. Yeah, so how do you spell Edinburgh? Edinburgh. Okay. Edinburgh, UK. There it is. So you see, theirs actually starts. Oh, this starts in April. Interesting, isn't it? This actually starts in April and goes all the way up to mid-August. So that's basically what what it means that Isha's time doesn't come in, and that's what this this website is very good for working that out. I would say. It's you obviously got to follow what the scholars say on this, but it gives you an understanding of how these things work. So those of you guys who are unsure, that's it basically. That's how it works. Right. Okay. If there's a space during namaz safs, yeah. Ibn Adam alaykum salam, Daniel alaykum salam. If a person jumps in a river, his wudu will be done. But whilst doing wudu, if he pours water over his head instead of masa, why is the wudu not done? According to some Hanafis, it's done. There's some Hanafis say it's done. But the Hanafi say because the Quran mentions wipe occurs with hand. You have to touch your head. So the hand touching takes place. All you gotta do is study Waladiya, Manazara, pull up the speaker's corner. Shaykh alaykum salam, ahlan wa sahlan. The arts, like here in Makkah, people pray on footpath. I don't understand your question, the arts. If you can write it out fully. I've been told speaker's corner is Wahhabi. Can you explain Sajda Sahu in Maliki Madhab? There is before Taslim one and after Taslim one. How is that for Hanafis? So I am not an expert in the Maliki Madhab, so I will tell you. But Malikis generally say they have this rule, which is if you make a reduction in your salat, then you do Sajda Sahu before Salam, and if you make an addition to your salat, you do Sajda Sahu after Salam. That's what they say. Or you can find out about Sajda Sahu in the Hanafi school, Naweed. If you watch my Kuduri videos, go to my Kuduri videos, go down the playlist and come across Sajda Sahu. I mean, from which Darulum? I studied in Banuri town. Not Mac, but MC. Allahu Akbar. Wow. So not the Dajjal then, because the Dajjal, he not see. If he studies his logic and Munazara, he will smoke all the Wahabi. What practice of yoga can I use and what not? The exercises do have some benefits, but they are supposed to be rituals. So if you, from my understanding, yoga itself is just movements of the body, stretching of the limbs. That's got nothing to do with worship. If a person does those actions with no intention of sajda to anything or prostration to anything, then it's permissible. Are you planning on teaching Sharh al-Wiqaya, inshallah? No, I'm not planning on teaching at the moment. Maybe many years in the future. Can you clarify the issue regarding whether the dead can hear in their grave or not? This is an ikhtilafi issue amongst the scholars, amongst the Sahaba. Yeah, so the hearing of the deceased in the grave, according to majority of Ahl Sunnah Jama'ah, happens, but it's not like clear communication. They can't hear as like clear communication. For students, I mean, otherwise, lisan is the main one. Ustad, hope all is well. What would you say Andrew Tate has had a positive impact on the Muslim youth? I don't know, I wouldn't be able to say that. My general take on similar things. Any famous personality who stands up for Islam is always going to have it's always going to have a confidence boost for Muslims. Remember that, but not necessarily a positive impact on Muslims. Remember that. That's a difference. There's a difference between, like, for example, Khabib, speaking about Islam, and then people, saying, "Wow, look at this, Islam is right," and all that, and then they start going to the mosque and they start going to, doing. But a positive impact would be that they teach people how to do good things. I don't know if he's a positive role model for. Positive role model is the Prophet ﷺ, Sahaba radiyallahu anhum, people who are upright people, and I don't think he's a positive role model for people. I think he is a confidence booster, I would say. What time does Maghrib become qadha during perpetual twilight nights? So that's the issue, isn't it? Some say it doesn't become qadha technically. Sultan of Hearts laces the seerah with asbab and nuzul, so it combines seerah with tafsir. I see. MashaAllah, that's a very good one. Sobanu alaikum assalam, ahlan wa sahlan. The last ayah of Surah Mumtahina, can you explain the last part means? I read it can be interpreted in two ways. I have not memorized the Quran. If you can tell me what the last verse is, inshallah. Honestly, you can sense the love the authors have for the Messenger ﷺ as you read their work. It softened my heart, alhamdulillah. Inshallah, I'm going to try to get that book. I asked ChatGPT this question the other day. It said, in Birmingham, UK, which is located in the central part of the country, astronomical twilight can still occur during the summer year. So astronomical twilight occurs, but not nighttime. So I just showed you on the map, isn't it? Astronomical twilight is what we call the bayad. That's the bayad, or whiteness, which according to Abu Hanifa, Isha hasn't started. Sahibain say Isha has started. But it may be relatively brief due to the higher latitude compared to more northern regions. During the summer solstice period, Birmingham experiences longer daylight hours with the sun setting late in the evening. However, there will be still a period of darkness during the night when astronomical twilight can occur. The exact duration and timing of astronomical twilight in Birmingham, as well as the presence of white nights, can vary slightly from year to year. However, even during the summer night months, there should still be a discernible period of darkness. Yeah, so we don't follow darkness. We follow, obviously, the whiteness disappearing, or for a short duration compared to the other times. Is Dalsim legit? He did. Remember Dalsim? The first. I used to hate his character. I think, what kind of character is this? You can just kind of float in the air and do these kind of kicks. So can you please recommend a Hanafi textbook in English to teach Masail to 18-year-olds, please? Something which has most Masail. I would say Safar Academy, book 7 or book 8. Safar Academy. Very easy to follow. You're not Hafiz. Are you going to memorize? No, I'm not. Barakallah feek. Ahlan wa sahlan. I appreciate your answer and your efforts. May Allah reward you. Ameen. Ameen. Jazakumullah khair, guys. Jazakumullah khair. Right. So that's that, guys. I'm going to finish it there. Jazakumullah khair. And like I said, tomorrow I might not be able to come on because I'm going to be at an event, inshallah. Maybe I'll see you guys there at the event. If you guys attend, that is, if you got, actually by invitation. It's by invitation only. So inshallah, I will see you guys, if not Saturday, then Sunday, inshallah. I'll try to do a live stream in the evening if I'm free. I might not be free. If I'm free, inshallah, I will do it. What's the name of the website? Website is called timeanddate.com. Timeanddate.com. Tell a story about your life that taught you something. Advice for the week. Right. What would be the advice for the week? I would say, I'm trying to think. Okay, I would say this. You know, when you're first starting to learn knowledge, do not quickly jump to conclusions about your teachers or about other individuals. This is unfortunately something happens when you start studying knowledge first. And I experienced this myself. When I first started studying knowledge and I saw my teachers saying certain things or doing certain things, I quickly felt as though they're doing something wrong. And I kind of like, in the back of my mind, was saying, this is wrong, this is what they're doing is wrong. And that was because I learned one issue which wasn't even the full masala. It was just one perspective. And I didn't understand that it's actually much greater than it was. And I remember one of my teachers, he actually said this. He said, a student sees one handspan in front of them. Right. So in life, when you're learning knowledge, your limit, your spectrum of vision is very limited. And a teacher sees a mile in front of them. And that's what happens, I think, when you learn knowledge, when you start practicing, you learn a few things. The first thing that you learn are too absolute for students. They take it as like in concrete, everything's absolute. And then when they see someone acting against that, they immediately start accusing them of being wrong or, I don't know, this and that. And it can lead to people even calling people kafir and then later on realizing this was wrong. So what I would say is it's very kind of like important when you're studying knowledge to be an individual with tolerance. Be very tolerant when you're studying. And then until you have qualified, now you can sort of like see things in a different light. So I would say that happened to me in the beginning. I used to kind of like, sometimes teachers would criticize certain like movements, Islamic movements, or certain sort of like individuals, you know, in the society. I'm trying to be without using names. And I used to kind of think, why are they doing that for? Isn't this wrong? Like, isn't this, these kind of people are good people and blah, blah, blah. Then later on, I realized there's different perspective. Not everyone has to agree with a particular organization in the same way. There might be a very famous individual. One guy thinks that he's, you know, after the Sahaba, he's like the best person. And another guy thinks, you know what, this guy actually is causing harm. And that's what you have to realize, difference of opinion. You have to be able to tolerate that. So I think that was probably one of the things is Shara Aqidat Tahawiyya Ibn is Hanafi right? Shara Aqidat Tahawiyya, as in some other texts. I wouldn't study that first. Why? Try to, if you want to read that, read it later. Don't study it now, because there are certain things in there which are problematic with other works. Yeah, so I would say just be careful. Okay. Anyway, guys, I am going to leave now. Jazakumullah khair. Thank you very much for tuning in. I will see you guys, inshallah. If not tomorrow, then Sunday, inshallah. Okay, Zob, last question. Alaikum assalam. Should I do the Fajr and Asr Azkar 33, 33, 34 if praying alone? And can you make dua in English and sajda in Fard? Yes, you can make that Azkar, it's fine. And can you make dua in English in sajda in Fard Salat? You can make it, but you have to be very careful of the wording you use so that it doesn't spoil your Salat. But that's why the Hanafi say it's best to make it Nawafil. Also, can I recite Quranic duas in sajda? Yes, as long as they are duas. Suspend judgment and have husn al-dhan, subhanallah, knowledge and forbearance going hand in hand. Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people who are new to learning about Islam, you've only learned Islam, it's only been 6 months or a year or 2 years. You've got to be very, very careful about how you think about other people. You've got to remember that when you first start your journey, most likely your conclusions and criticisms are going to be wrong. Just always remember that. Most of my criticisms are going to be wrong. Just bite your lip and just carry on. And then later on, you'll see things when they open up. All right, guys, take care, inshallah. And say bye-bye to the mic as well, Mr. Mike. Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.